But this world, as big as it is, one person can be the tipping scale to really create a domino effect that no one ever seen coming. I would like to remind people, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to judge you and tell you you're too naive.
That there are multiple different conversations that comes when it comes to future work trends.
One thing that I always find really interesting is how many people kind of all agree that this is the time for Africa to shine and there is a lot happening out there, but no one has really taken the step to do anything.
So it's very this question where you're applying for the job, they say you don't have any experience, but you need experience to have experience.
With all the measures of caution back to normal in order to keep our societies functioning.
Hello all. Thank you for attending this great experiment, and thanks for having me. It is an honor to be a keynote speaker for the first summit where the audience does not have to wear pants.
I want to reframe artificial intelligence, reframe AI as a potential remover of fear and not the cause. I'm sure this is something that we hear a lot in our various businesses and our conversations, that AI is going to be this global catastrophic risk and end us all, especially if you're fans of sci-fi.
So the blockchain and cryptocurrencies represent a whole new different world. It's like a different universe in which we get to write the rules.
So in this particular photo, we did a documentary about what quarantine looked like in Hangzhou, China, when COVID first hit. And we were able to play that experience with a group of our colleagues and peers, watch it and discuss it together inside of VR.
AI and quantum computing and brain-computer interfacing and the future of computing, it's all based on mastery of matter at the nano scale.
For the first time for this country, I see say young people come together, do something. Nobody talk about the kind church where they go, the kind God where they pray to, the tribe where you come from, the language where they speak, the clique where you did, the economic class where you did. I just did for everything just they happen like clockwork.
So, you have a lot of young people who are getting into positions where they can influence more things happening for us in the tech ecosystem. And I think that is great.
Yeah. Somebody passe $1,000 par mois. Qui va combien de jeunes qui carrent école? Ou bien, on peut nous parler. On peut l'autre bagarre. On peut l'autre bagarre. Écoutez ma mort en Haïti. Pour ouvrir une compagnie SA, faut ouvrir un compte en banque dans BLC avec 100 000 gouttes sous lui. L'on fin ouvrir une compagnie ça, ou à dans BLC, il faut rouvrir l'autre compte encore. Ça crée avec 100 000 gouttes là.
You know that women make up half of the world's working age population, but right now are generating about 37% of GDP.
To me, it's really easy. And if you think about the technologies today that can even examine patients remotely, where you have devices like this, the Med one, for example, which can do a number of physical examinations remotely.
I say to a lot of entrepreneurs that you have to treat every situation as though it is an investor meeting, as though it is something that's significant that can support you with your business.
We have the world's first and largest digital accelerator. We have been running digital accelerators for the past 6 years. So we're so excited again to bring you this program virtually so you can still engage with this content. All right. So, hi, everyone, and welcome back to the GSC Startup AI Ready Bootcamp. It is crazy weather out here. It's hot. Hopefully, everyone's hydrated and cool wherever you are in the world. Really excited to be here for day 2 of this initiative. And welcome to this conversation. So, my name is Christine and Tim. I am the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. My brand over the years has been really built up around being a global speaker, a 3-time founder, and I'm on a mission to help the next generation of entrepreneurial leaders make an impact and build with purpose. And so this conversation of building a scalable, profitable, purpose-led company in the AI economy is so relevant. Many of you were here for day 1, and it wasn't just about AI. It was about relevancy, leadership, impact. How are you leveraging this as a tool to scale the work that you do for your constituents? So this has been an amazing conversation so far. But just to recap, for those of you who are here for day 1 of the bootcamp, I started by sharing with some of the, pitfalls of AI capacity building, not only at the enterprise level, but also for startup entrepreneurs. Now, many of you probably have seen this, about 70% of activations around AI projects actually fail. Whether they're piloted or not, they don't work. So something's happening where there's a lot of hype around AI. Everyone's talking about, this, new technology that's taking over the world. There's FOMO around using the next big thing, the next big tool. But as people try to adopt it into their businesses, it is not working, right? And you would think that this is such a major equalizer. AI or the internet of things have really equalized and democratized access to information, to resources, to networks. But the stats around startup success has not shifted. Still, 90% of startups still fail within 5 years. So there's a disconnect here. Everyone's telling you that you have to, leverage AI to be able to accelerate, to win, and this economy, this digital economy that we're all operating in. But even the players who are the first movers, who are adopting it, applying it, are still not succeeding. So where does that position you as an entrepreneur who wants to build a company that serves its clients, builds a legacy, and really makes a huge impact? What do you do? It's imperative that you think, again, the tool is supposed to enable you to succeed. So you first got to look at, well, what do I want AI to do in my business? What will it help me to succeed in, right? And this is where I shared with you, when you're thinking about trying to build relevancy and resilience in this digital age that we're operating in, so many entrepreneurs are going to tap out, because it's a lot to manage. It's a lot to take in. But if you are focused on 3 key things in your business, you are not only going to succeed, you are going to thrive in this newfound economy. First and foremost, the first thing you want to leverage AI for is to maximize time, right? You want to learn how to use AI to help you reclaim time, improve productivity, and build your operational system so there's an actual workflow that works for executing on the value proposition you promise your buyers and your stakeholders. That's why yesterday we talked about time and how to leverage AI to optimize your time for success. Today, we're going to be talking about traction, because no business exists without traction, whether it's traction in KPIs around your customers, revenues, around, customer acquisition, whether it's growth, marketing, you need traction. And I will tell you, one of the biggest things we're going to stress today is the power of simplicity, how to simplify your business model and create a growth engine that actually generates measurable, sizable, sustainable traction. Last but not least, trust. I cannot stress this enough. I've been shouting this from the mountainsides for years now. Trust is broken. People don't trust you. And let me say this. Even if you're a trustworthy entrepreneur, the industry and the perception of entrepreneurs right now is broken. Too many stories have gone viral about entrepreneurs operating without integrity, business moguls pretending to have some type of thought leadership that they didn't really do. And you even have entrepreneurs bold-faced coming online selling courses on how to create courses that they never learned from, that they never had experiences on, just to try to make a quick buck on the internet to make passive income. So you're seeing in real time trust just coming to an all-time low. So people are skeptical. So how do you create trust in an economy that's built for lack of integrity, lack of trust, lack of relationships, right? So we're going to share with you on the third day, and it's probably the most pivotal day, the Trust Bridge event framework to help you learn how to rebuild relationships, credibility, and revenue in the AI economy. So a very powerful conversation we're going to have, and we're going to double down on that. So as stated before, yesterday we doubled down on time, where I went over the fact that many of you, on average, 20 to 50 different software tools or subscriptions, entrepreneurs are average and out and using, and less than 70% of them are being used. So we have an issue here where many of us are signing up for all the latest tools, but it's not really optimizing our time. The main thing is like more hours leveraging the tools, using the tools, and not actually leveraging to create a better output. So we talked about revamping your tech stack. For those of you who signed up for the intensive workshops, the link is in the comments if you want to join, so we could give you the frameworks and the layout on how to actually revamp your entire tech stack. So for those of you who feel overwhelmed with your tech stack, your software, and all the different tools that you're currently using to operate your business, this session is going to be very, very crucial for you. Go back and see the replay on our preliminary overview on how to redo your tech stack and really consider all-in-one software, so you have a dashboard to see your KPIs, so that way you are optimizing and executing at scale. Okay, and then we broke that down even further. So today we're talking about traction. Okay, and the biggest thing I will share about traction is that when you look at startup founders, there's so many different KPIs you look at to look at growth, right? And right now in this economy, I would say during the early Silicon Valley era days, having users with no revenue was okay, because you're scaling very rapidly. People feel like you will figure out the business model to monetize your user base. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. That is no longer the case. People are looking at revenue. People are looking at output. People are looking at, like real tangible KPI metrics to scale your business. And for those of you who feel like, hey, we're running the business, we're putting it out there, but for some reason, it's just like, it just feels disconnected. I find that a lot of entrepreneurs who come into our programs feel overwhelmed because they have too many product offers. They have too many audiences that they're serving. They're doing too many different marketing projects. They're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Substack, they're launching this, right? It's just too much. What you want to do is learn how to simplify your entire business model. Focus on one key offer. What does that look like? Well, let me share. When I first started my business, I was all about creating solutions for my clients. So if that was multiple product offers, that's what I would offer. But we got to a point where, remember I told you that, trust is broken in the market. Another social change that's happening amongst a lot of individuals, that people are now more overwhelmed, people are overstimulated. So simplicity is very important, that you have a key offer and a key value proposition for your business. So if you're someone right now who have a business where you have 10 different products, unless you're a retail store, you need to stop it right now. Let me repeat that again. If you are a startup founder and you have multiple product offers, as if you're a retail stop, you need to stop. There's a reason why you are struggling to keep up with business scaling and revenue traction, is because you have way too many offers in the market. So just even creating momentum around each product offer is really, really difficult. So what we share inside the GST Academy, behind the scenes with our founders, we share with them the power of one growth framework, where all it is you focusing on one flagship offer. At the Global Startup Ecosystem, that's our Digital Startup Accelerator program that you want to be known for. That doesn't mean you don't do anything else, but what it means is like you got to have a home run advantage where you are phenomenal and known for one major product offer. Okay, that's one. Once you have that one product offer, what happens is that you need to see who's the one target audience that will want this offer. So for example, for us, our product offer is the Digital Startup Accelerator program. Every single year, we galvanize 1,000 different startup companies from around the world through our flagship accelerator program. We are literally the visionaries around the digital accelerator model. We were doing digital accelerators before it was a thing during the COVID pandemic. And then everyone started talking about digital accelerators, but we are the ones that coined the entire concept and structure around scaling digital accelerator programs. All right. Now, obviously, our target audience, our target one audience are entrepreneurs. But even that is too complicated and too broad. So what kind of entrepreneur are we looking for? So we usually target
entrepreneurs at the ideation stage who are trying to launch. So our accelerator program targets entrepreneurs who are trying to launch and build traction from scratch. That is it. So even though people say, well, you could target experienced entrepreneurs, exit entrepreneurs, all those are great. We could create mini programs throughout the year to engage those entrepreneurs. But our core target audience, we even got a name for this person called Ellen, right? Where she has a profile. She's an entrepreneur. We got a customer journey for her. We know what she does, what she likes. We know where she hangs out. So that's why we're able to market in the right channels. We know that she likes operating on Instagram and Facebook. We know if she's a corporate, dropout entrepreneur, that she's going to be on LinkedIn. We know what she wants to read on Substack. We literally embody the audience that we're talking about into one persona profile. And in the academy, we walk you through how to create a persona around your target audience. And that way, we know what our execution process to convert that person into a client. So every entrepreneur that we work with, once you simplify your model, even if you have 8 products today, what's the one core offer you want to be known for, and build around that? And then you have one audience. Then you have one execution fulfillment process where the administrative, you know how to onboard that client, bill for that client, all of the above. Here's the missing piece. A lot of people don't know how to grow and scale, right? This is what we're going to go over in depth tomorrow, is one conversion event process. And we do that through a live event. Let me repeat that again. You have one offer, one audience, one process to manage that entire ecosystem around that product offering in the market. What makes you scale out large? And you probably have seen the pattern with a lot of entrepreneurs doing this, the ones who are successful, the ones who are making money and generating sales, is that they have one conversion event protocol process. And this is what I call a sales process. We're going to go over this in depth tomorrow. But I will tell you, if you are running marketing campaigns, even for me on my personal brand, I had 2 different offers, flagship programs for the past 3 years. I have now since retired one of those offers so I could focus on one key offer in the market, because I recognize, even though it was just 2 products, my campaigns, if I look at a quarterly basis in a year, one quarter will be for this offer, the next quarter will be for the other offer, and then I have to reprogram my community again for the original offer, and then again. So what was happening is it's almost like I was resetting every 90 days, and I didn't realize I was killing momentum by offering 2 different products and doing conversion events around 2 different products. Once I simplify and say, hey, for my personal brand, my target offer that I give entrepreneurs who want to succeed, take their personal brand to the next level is Personal Brand Business School, it became very clear that that was my product offer in the market, and I doubled down and doubled down and doubled down on that. And it was so much lighter to scale, so much easier to execute, so more clear, so much more clarity to provide my value, and it just made my business fun again. That's another thing. Business is already hard, but when it's overcomplicated with different protocols and processes and you don't have a routine around this, that's when you start to lose your mind, right? So the power of one growth framework is what you need to be able to do this. So how would you implement this for your business in today's economy when you think about AI and artificial intelligence? Right now, we look at, okay, let's review and audit our business model right now. So we have multiple offers that we offer. We have the pricing, we have the schedule. We look at the 8 and we look at, okay, which one has been generating either the most revenue or the most engagement? So out of 8, we look at, okay, there's 2 competing offers that's actually doing. And then we double down and drill out, okay, which one of those 2 offers really is the core one? And then we figure out the one. Once you figure out the one, here's where you leverage AI. And this is, we go through this exercise where we demo, we use ChatGPT and we put a prompt. And we look at that business product and we look at, okay, what are the revenue sales for that product? And we download the traction, the sales revenue around that. And then we put it into ChatGPT. It's like, look at this product, okay? And what patterns do you see in when people are buying? How much do people buy if we change the pricing model over the past couple of years? And what are the profiles of the people buying this product? See, the thing is, when you're manually trying to find insights in your data or the patterns in your business experiences with your products, it's very easy to miss it. But when you input that prompt and put that into ChatGPT with all the downloaded data on your sales revenue traction for the past couple of years, it will start to tell you information that you never knew before. A case study in point, we always have testimonials for our flagship products where people just say feedback, contact us, any type of customer service related matter regarding our product, we usually put that in a spreadsheet or a folder. We just uploaded that entire spreadsheet and that entire folder into ChatGPT and say, look for patterns of opportunity that we need to be able to attract our ideal buyer. And when I told you the marketing campaign content that it gave us, and obviously we tweaked it, we humanized it, because I always look at it like, what's the input that's coming in, and how do I make sure that I put my own internal analysis, my own judgment, my own, because AI cannot replace human ingenuity and human interaction, right? And so go into the comb through it, look through it, and then we put out the marketing campaign. It converted 80% higher than any other marketing campaign we ever done in the business. And we replicated this model with our founders. They were able to see anywhere from 50 to 70, I think the last one, 78%. How did we get those percentages? We asked them, look at your KPIs before you implemented the Power of One strategy, and give us your KPIs after you're done with the marketing campaign. And we gave them a framework to run our campaign for 30 days, where they went live at least once a week, being able to execute on this model and see how far they converted. And they saw that their conversions just increased dramatically. Minimum was 50% conversions. Highest was 78 that we saw. One person had 92%, which is crazy amazing. But the point is that just the data insights and finding patterns of opportunity, and even being able to market differently, because sometimes you might not know the right keywords to use for your constituents. It was able to find the right keywords, the right messaging to be able to get out there and engage with the audience. Phenomenal. So that's one example of how to use the Power of One framework. The second thing I wanted to share with you guys, now that I shared with you the framework and case studies, how you could use it to find data and insights to optimize your marketing strategy with your clients. The second thing I wanted you to look at is, when you use the Power One framework, when you have a business model, simplicity like that, what you're going to see is that you are able to simplify your SOPs and your operating procedures around that product. Right now, for a lot of you, if I ask you right now, a lot of founders will tell me they don't have a customer journey. When someone books or pays for a product, how are they onboarded? Do they get a calendar invite? Do they get an auto email? Some people don't have a sequence email. What is their follow-up sequence? What do they do to engage with the person? If you do not have operating procedures on how to manage the customer journey once a person books, a lot of people talk about the marketing campaign to get the person to become a client, but what happens once they become a client? How to use AI for that? And this is where we go back and we look at, AI, and look at ChatGPT to be able to use Claude or ChatGPT and input and think, this is our customer journey right now. I don't really have one, or this is the journey as. We manually give an email, we manually get an auto receipt. You put all that in, and then you ask, okay, how do I optimize the customer journey? And what tools should I use to do this? And this is where we found insights where we would even ask it, okay, what software tools right now can automate this process? They will recommend either Kit or, another platform. I don't want to be shouting at terminologies or brand names for the sake of simplicity. But the point is that it will recommend the software and the protocol process to optimize that customer journey. So right then and there, if you did not have a journey for optimizing your processing protocols for fulfilling that product, is able to find that for you. So you don't have to think creative. So the second thing that happens with the Power of One framework is that you're able to simplify the customer journey. The third and last thing I will share today around traction in the Power of One growth framework is it makes it easier for you to get good at your craft. And this bleeds into tomorrow's session where it talks about thought leadership, is that you're able to talk at length over and over and from different angles. So for example, because our flagship product is a digital startup accelerator program at the global startup ecosystem, we're able to talk at length about entrepreneurship when our company is starting, when a startup founding starts. So I'm able to do multiple different lives about it. I'm able to partner with different institutions about it. I'm able to gain clarity on the stakeholdership activations I have around the outside of the business. So the first two examples I gave you were internal benefits, but externally, I'm able to network with funders. I'm networking with, event organizers, accelerator platforms, media, government officials, easier because I've clarified, well, what do your business do? Boom, I have my answer. So to simplify, the one sentence that we tell entrepreneurs to do to really define their traction element with the Power of the One framework is, I serve blank who, with what's the product that you offer, by doing blank, how do you fulfill that offer, because of why. Okay, So what happens is that you're identifying the who, which is the entrepreneur in our case. You're identifying the what. So ours is a digital accelerator program. So the name of your product. We identify the how, right? Essentially, we provide that through a live program event. And we do that through live conversion events, right? So what happens is that now that I have clarity around that with that one sentence framework to be able to answer those key 4 marks, right? For my product, my one product offer, then I'm able to build an entire campaign. You'll find that it's easier to do a marketing campaign, a customer acquisition campaign. Your team can get behind it. What is their checklist? You start to get more and more optimized with doing this. So with that said, I shared a couple of prompts of how to be able to leverage the data and insights to be able to put out there and simplify. But just to summarize, what I want you to look at this is as this is your opportunity to take a step back from your business, take an hour, take 2 hours, take a weekend, sit down and lay out all the different product offerings you have for your business, both past and present, or even future things that you're considering on launching. Take all that data, whether it's spreadsheets, Word document, and you can piece it out, upload it, and put that prompt in. It's like, hey, here's the, the traction and the data around this product offering that we have. How can I optimize the customer journey? What patterns of opportunity am I missing? Where can I find insights to be able to be a market leader in this and gets chosen to speak on this topic, right? You start to ask these questions from the data and the content, and it gives you all the different directions you could go with that product, and you become chiseled on. What I would suggest for the next 6 months, experiment. Even if you don't want to do the full 6 months, the next 90 days, leveraging the power of one growth framework where you focus on one product offer, one audience, one execution strategy, and one live conversion event. 30-day challenge. Go ahead and try it. You will see your business will optimize for scale at a whole new level. And now ChatGPT becomes almost like your R&D partner, right? Supporting you to understand the insights around how that product is coming to market. And I will tell you, I've done this over and over and over again. And funny enough, it actually helps me to market less because I'm able to hit my numbers by targeting the right people. And sometimes I take a step back because I'm going through a transition with a product or the business model. Take a step back, do less with more, and then come out to market and scale it at large because now I feel comfortable with the insights I learned from that reiteration. That's what you want to do. All right. So hopefully that was helpful in hearing that framework. If you want to be able to execute on that framework with your business, the links is in the comics for you to join the intensive to be able to learn how to apply that to your business for sure. Okay. Now, with that said, what is next? Day 3 tomorrow is by far probably the most crucial part of the GSC AI Ready Startup Bootcamp because this is where we're going to bring everything together. We're going to summarize our entire framework around how to maximize time, traction, and trust with AI. We're going to talk about the exact framework I use to be able to go live and be able to convert audiences who don't know me into trusted clients, stakeholders, and partners in the business evolution of our product offers. At the end of the day, what you want is to learn how to build relationships at scale in a way that doesn't compromise your integrity, your brand, your profile, and your endeavors as an entrepreneur. So with that said, I hope the traction framework around how to really simplify your business model served you today. Tomorrow, we're going to work on building trust. You do not want to miss tomorrow. And at the end of the day, my hope for this entire bootcamp is this is surface preliminary conversations around how you're looking at artificial intelligence to rethink your leadership in this era as an entrepreneur, simplifying how you do business so that way you can optimize how you execute on value. Again, you want to leverage AI to simplify how you do business so you can optimize how you execute on value. When you're able to do those two things, what happens is you're able to grow, you're able to scale, you're able to get visibility, you're able to create impact at a large capacity, and you're able to endure the journey and really build, again, the two things I said from the beginning of this entire boot camp, relevancy and resilience, because there's a lot of players who are getting tapped out because of the overwhelm around this technology. You're going to be positioned for success. You're going to win in this economy. You're going to lead by example, and you're going to go out there and be the entrepreneurial leader that you were meant to be. I look forward to working with you guys for day 3 of the GSC AI Ready Startup Bootcamp. Thank you so much for an amazing day 2. Tomorrow, we work on trust. Let's go get them. Bye, everyone.
But this world, as big as it is, one person can be the tipping scale to really create a domino effect that no one ever seen coming. I would like to remind people, there's going to be a lot of people that's